In the heart of a frozen wilderness, where the snow stretches endlessly and the cold bites deep, a lone traveler named David made his way through the harsh landscape. The wind howled, and each step felt heavier than the last. But as he trudged forward, a faint sound reached his ears, a desperate whimper, barely audible over the wind. David stopped and scanned the surroundings. His eyes settled on a dark figure partially buried in the snow. A wolf, its leg caught in a rusted steel trap, lay motionless except for its shallow breaths, its golden eyes locked onto his, filled with a mixture of pain and fear. He hesitated. A wounded predator was still a predator, but something about those eyes made him take a step closer. Slowly, cautiously, David knelt beside the wolf. It growled weakly, but had no strength to resist. With steady hands, he pried open the cruel metal jaws of the trap. The wolf flinched as its injured leg was freed, but it didn't attack. Instead, it collapsed onto the snow, exhausted and in pain. David ripped a piece of cloth from his coat and wrapped the wound, knowing it was the only thing he could do. He placed some food beside the animal and moved back, giving it space. Hours passed. The wolf remained still, occasionally lifting its head to glance at him. David stayed too, not knowing why he felt compelled to watch over it. By morning, the wolf was gone, its tracks leading back into the depths of the wilderness. He smiled faintly, believing their brief encounter had come to an end. Weeks later, David was deep in the forest again, navigating the treacherous paths of the mountains. The sun had begun to set, casting long shadows between the trees. Then, out of nowhere, a low, guttural growl sent a chill down his spine. He turned sharply and saw the massive form of a grizzly bear, its dark eyes fixed on him. Panic surged through his veins. There was no escape. The bear reared onto its hind legs, ready to strike. And then, out of the silence, came a snarl. A blur of gray fur lunged from the shadows. The wolf, the same one he had saved, now stronger, fiercer. It attacked without hesitation, biting and clawing at the bear with unmatched ferocity. The grizzly roared, swiping its powerful claws, but the wolf was relentless. It fought with a force beyond survival. It fought with purpose. David watched in awe as the bear, finally overpowered, turned and fled into the wilderness. The wolf stood there, panting, its fur bristling. Then it turned toward him, those same golden eyes locking onto his once more. There was no growl, no hesitation, just recognition, gratitude. A silent understanding passed between them, and then, as swiftly as it had arrived, the wolf turned and disappeared into the wild, leaving nothing but its tracks in the snow. David stood motionless, the reality of what had just happened sinking in. He exhaled, a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. A soft smile played on his lips as he whispered, "Goodbye, old friend. Some debts, after all, are never forgotten. Nature always finds a way to repay them."